Greetings, geeks! Welcome to episode 424 of Geeks in Space. I am Rob Commander Taco Malda, and I am here for a totally normal day with a full load of folks. Who do we have here? We got Nate Ostendorp.
Hello.
Ron Rosewood.
Hey.
Jeff Bates.
Would you say we're a full viral load today?
Ooh.
Yeah.
It took according to the stream, it took 39 seconds for us to bring it up.
And most of that was just dead air.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
most of it like you doing introductions and then like, you know what? This is a great time to have coffee.
Right.
That's true.
Right. I could have just started up like viruses. Welcome to Geeks in Space. The John Oliver episode was actually really good this week.
I'd like to watch it. Wait, you didn't introduce me.
I did introduce you. That's why there was this awkward pause for like 5 seconds while you didn't respond.
No, I didn't.
No. Yeah, that didn't happen.
I heard it.
I think
Nate, you're a troll.
I think someone might have been talking over someone, which is weird for this podcast.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
That never happens.
You're nonsense.
I was going to say pant load as a play off the viral load, but I can't do it.
It's too easy or it's too gross?
It's too easy, man.
All right. Because here at Geeks in Space, we're all about going the extra mile.
We're not hacks. We're not doing hacky stuff.
That's right. Let's see. All right. I'm going to get up my notes for the day because it's not a lot, because I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but it seems like some sort of apocalypse is happening, and that seems to be all that anybody can talk about.
Yeah. I mean, I threw my laptop at the virus this morning, but it didn't seem to do anything.
Just bounced right off.
Yeah.
So I'm down here in Los Angeles to try to fetch my daughter, which will happen maybe Thursday. But Santa Clara County is shelter in place. So I was like, I gotta get the hell out of here if I'm gonna get my daughters from school.
Yep. You got to get them moving.
Yeah. So, I did that whole Dukes of Hazzard thing. Once I crossed the county line, I was like, yeah. So.
Oh, I thought you meant like you were doing cool jumps on your way down to LA. That is not as fun.
No.
Or wearing those little shorts.
That's not something anyone wants.
Of all of us, I guess if we should throw that out to the Discord, who amongst us should wear the Daisy Dukes?
I mean, the obvious answer is Bates or Nate. I mean, they're the cutest.
They're the only ones that are
in our boy band. I think Nate's the cute one and Jeff's the dangerous one. No, Rob's the dangerous one. Not Malda, Roseboom.
Yeah, Roseboom is definitely the dangerous one.
You're not the dangerous one, Malda.
Yeah, no. Which one's the secretly gay one?
Well, process of elimination.
I like to think of myself as the ODB of our boy band.
So you're the one who most likely to go to jail for pedophilia? Sorry.
For possession. So, all right, Tulip time, man.
Tulip time. I can't believe Tulip time's canceled.
That is great.
Yeah. It was a 91-year run.
Pretty good run. Have you considered telling people what the hell Tulip time is?
Well, okay. So, all right, Jake, listen up, man. When you grow up in Holland, Michigan, one of the things that you learn is that you are Dutch. And I mean, all of you are Dutch. Even the people who are not genetically Dutch, you're Dutch. And the way that you know that is because every year you have to train for weeks to learn to march in parades. And then
clogs.
The high schoolers march in clogs. The little kids get to use their shoes. But they draft all of the children. They make them march in parades. And their only reward for this is a warm Sprite.
And
a water fight.
Don't forget that you are also marching in old Dutch costumes that are designed to keep you warm in 40-degree weather. And it's undoubtedly 90 during Tulip time. Also, they make you scrub the streets with brooms.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like curling? Is it like a curling thing? Like it's
Yes.
during the march?
That's
Yeah.
the Wednesday
No,
parade.
that's the Tuesday parade is the street cleaning parade. Then
I thought
Wednesday parade is the big parade.
No.
The governor always shows up for the street cleaning, though, right?
Oh.
That's the one that traditionally the
Yes.
governor shows up for.
Jeff
Yeah.
is absolutely wrong. The big parade is on Saturday. The
Correct.
very first parade is the street cleaning.
Wednesday.
That's right. I was about the street cleaning. I just had the days wrong.
The Thursday parade is the kids parade, where literally every elementary school for 100-mile radius is drafted.
And you're missing an important point for our listener, for Jake. What's the connection to tulips? Are there tulips present?
Everywhere.
There
Right.
are, in fact, millions of tulips present.
Yes.
They plant
It's actually
them
cool.
and then they grow.
Yes. And we get to sing such wonderful songs as Tulips Are Blooming in Holland, Michigan. Tulips bright colored and gay.
And don't forget,
Dance
Okay.
on the
Gypsy
cobble
tulips.
streets of Holland, Michigan.
Of
Yeah.
Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that's the third most popular tulip song. Tiptoe Through the Tulips being #1 with a bullet.
But also,
If you guys want to sing Tiptoe Through the Tulips, please feel free.
the incredibly low fidelity broadcast through the community speakers downtown for Dutch dancing.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
imagine that we could all sing that song together. There's no words, so it's easy. But how I know that at least one of us has a spouse that's danced.
Yeah. I don't think there's really words for most of Tulip Time, to tell you the truth. I mean, we can try, but unless you're actually there.
Well, I mean, the reality
It's
is that
mostly a set of monosyllabic noises that you make about Tulip Time. That's how you express your feelings.
Basically, it's a very small town with a downtown that is mostly one-way streets, suddenly filled with hundreds of thousands of people.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
it's very much more than the town can handle. But I mean, also, it's like the entire economy for a lot of those downtown businesses depends on it. So it's a big deal.
So one thing that when I was visiting y'all in Holland that you told me about was how kids would open their car doors and just obliterate like yards and miles of tulips. And then apparently they put rebar in the tulips to
Yes.
catch the car doors.
Yeah.
Is this
Yeah.
true or is this an urban legend?
Nope.
No.
That's true.
Totally true.
Totally true.
But that
I-
happened after 1 year where someone destroyed thousands of tulips.
Right.
It was a
Because-
particularly bad year.
The tulips are parked are like in a nice line across all the major streets and the parade routes and all that. And so you can, if you just get a good head of speed going, you can just open your car door and you can take down a whole street.
Yeah, I think that person that year they took out, I mean, this is like 20 plus years ago, something like $50,000 worth of tulips. And so whatever that is in today's money, $4 million, I think that's how inflation works.
We're entering
Definitely
a new
that's how the
depression.
economy works.
We're entering a new depression.
Actually,
Who knows?
he destroyed the equivalent of one N100 mask as we move into our new barter economy.
I mean,
Yep.
undoubtedly there'll be more now once they figure out that tulips cure coronavirus.
Mhm.
Guys, I'm a little concerned because I'm afraid that this is going to cause another tulip bulb thing,
Yeah.
like a Ponzi scheme, and this worries me because I feel like we might have done this. I might have seen this movie.
I like a good tulip mania.
It works as good as Bitcoin. So, all right, we can talk about some things that are not virus, but I have a sneaking suspicion that whatever we try to do, we can play like a Kevin Bacon game where we connect it back to the virus almost immediately.
For sure.
All right, so TikTok apparently has guidelines telling moderators to suppress posts by ugly and poor people.
This
Well,
is why
and older
my
people,
stream
I
has
mean.
done so bad.
Yeah, that's why.
Yep,
Not because
that's
you're not
exactly
a 19-year-old
it,
girl
Nate.
dancing in skimpy clothing.
Well,
I
the
mean,
worst part is that's what
I was
Nate is
dancing
doing.
in skimpy clothing. Yeah, I mean, I had those Daisy Dukes on, so I have to. I can blame the moderators now.
I mean,
Actually, I think Nate would do okay. I mean, if he was slightly younger, he'd probably do great on TikTok as like some switch 'em up boy with some cute girl.
Wait, what is
I don't know
some
what a switch 'em up boy
switch it
is.
up boy is?
I'm trying to come up with what that is, but
Okay, so TikTok, it's 15 to 60-second long videos set to music, right? And one of the songs is this song. I'm just gonna call it "Switch It Up" because it's basically it goes da na 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 switch it up, and then they switch clothes, they switch affects, they switch dances, and it's very popular with very attractive 18-year-old children. So there you go.
well, this news really surprises me on account of all the ugly poor people I see in advertisements on TV.
Yep.
in conventional media.
Yeah, and on billboards and in magazines. I mean,
Yeah.
there's ugly poor people everywhere you look, except on TikTok, I guess.
Weird.
It's super weird. I was watching the new Mission Impossible movie, and everyone in it was just a horrible looking, not fit person. And
Ever since
so,
Garrison Keillor started getting leading roles.
I mean, I'm all for the mole people being treated equally, but
please, we call them Morlocks, Morlock Americans.
Let's be realistic. This video chat has far more Morlock than Eloy.
I know. It's kind of me to bring myself down to your
I'll just point out that the Eloy were cattle.
Yep. It's
delicious
true.
cattle.
So there is a great picture on the Reddit on the Taco Zone. Late stage capitalism summarized, which is somebody with one of those curved phones where the glass curves around the edges. I don't know which model in particular, but the definition of late stage capitalism: not being able to see the stock market crash because that line on the graph was around the curve of your phone.
That's all right.
Kind of genius.
That is something I may look up. That sounds pretty good.
I was worried you were going to link to the girl who was licking the bathroom seat on an airplane picture.
Have we not seen that now like 5,000 times on the internet?
You mean the coronavirus challenge picture? Is what they were calling it?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the story about the German version of Big Brother, where evidently the people were put into the house before the coronavirus breakout?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
So they're just sitting there competing in the show, and then at some point they'll all come out and discover that the world's gone crazy and they're in lockdown. I think that is hilarious.
Yeah, there was someone who at work who sent a message out because one of their friends who has been in a cabin for the last 8 weeks with no access to technology said they were coming home tomorrow and asked them to go out and pick up some toilet paper for them. The response was, "Boy, do I have some bad news for you."
That's some championship level douchebaggery right there.
I would say Charmin level douchebaggery.
Oh, please don't squeeze the Charmin.
My wordplay game is going to be awesome by the time we get out of quarantine in 2037.
So what might be really, really great is if all the Big Brother contestants, like when they get voted out of their house or whatever the heck they do, they all get coronavirus. So like literally when they're voted out, they're dead. And then like you tell the people in the house this, and then they're like, suddenly the game gets serious.
Yeah, that's called The Running Man and is still one of the finest cinematic works of the 1980s.
That would be a great television show. I'm just saying. Talk about ratings.
Point out that this is the German version of Big Brother, so that would sell hugely over there. That'd be great.
I don't know
The
who
German version.
You just reflected somebody, Chris.
What did I do?
You reflected somebody.
Someone was walking behind you.
We're at home. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm not sure if you're at a gathering of 10 or more people.
No, so I came down to Los Angeles ahead of the shelter in place so I could fetch my daughter from college, and some friends have put me up, which is very generous of them. So, and they're very, very nice, and they have these cute cats. They're like these Russian blues. They're just gorgeous. So,
I got my cat back from the vet, so I'm at least happy about that.
Are you?
give us the cat update.
Oh,
Yeah.
the cat update. The cat is now has experienced medical care worth approximately 2.5 to 3x my original budget for my gaming PC, which is going to be postponed, despite the fact that Ryzen chips prices are falling.
I was going to say, I bet in a couple weeks it'll be a great time to buy a PC from parts.
Yeah.
Well, depending on how bad the coronavirus gets, maybe you could find some older gamers rig, for sale at an estate sale.
Like
you are just all into murder and grave robbing today.
Fallout has taught Chris how the future is going to be.
I don't know.
Hey, man,
what happened.
I don't have the luxury of being in Tulip Town. All right, I'm in California.
We're only going to be able to eat those tulips for a few weeks.
Scoping out Palo Alto real estate already, waiting for who drops.
You laugh, but people are worse in California. But like apparently in Los Angeles, the big scandal is they can't go to the gym and they can't go to restaurants.
Oh no.
They're like, how will I stay fit? Are you
Just
going to
sit
tell me
in
I can't use Raya anymore?
Drive around on the highways.
Nate, I did. I noticed the other day that in the Uplay, which is Ubisoft's launcher app, they have made Might and Magic Chess Royale free to play now. So if you want a little flavor of that back from the late '80s, that's out there.
I will totally download for free a Might and Magic Chess Royale.
Yep.
Oh, I did. Also, if you're an iOS person, both the Mini Moog and the Chaosillator apps are free. No, really? Like $20. Yeah. And if you are on Android, the Chaosillator app is free.
Oh, that's awesome. I saw someone had put together a great list for people who are getting into gaming. Now that they're stay from home, it's got some good recommendations like Kenshi, Dwarf Fortress, Binding of Isaac, stuff that's really easy to get into. And
Astroneer, come on, Astroneer.
No,
I mean, you can
none
melt
of the
an
games
entire
I
quarantine.
just said are easy. Yeah, Astroneer is actually a good introduction.
It's not that hard. It's good.
That's what I'm saying. It's a good introduction game. Dwarf Fortress as an introduction.
No. I'm playing a lot of RimWorld, which is Dwarf Fortress-esque, and it's like I feel like at about 30 hours in, I'm starting to get the hang of the resource management system.
Well, I guess in a recent update of Dwarf Fortress, they added unionization for the dwarves. I'm like, wait, what?
Yes.
Collective bargaining with your dwarves? Okay,
yes.
I'm in. I'm just in.
Yeah. The Stellaris expansion Federations just dropped this morning at 4. So I'm looking forward to playing some of that later on today. That is both console and PC. Although, you're a friggin' barbarian if you're playing it on console, but,
PC Master Race.
But I just can't understand why you would ever want to play a 4X or a strategy game on something that does not have a keyboard.
Right.
That sounds awful.
I would want to murder somebody by the end of it. And can you imagine using 2 joysticks to move around frickin' Dwarf Fortress or any of the 4X games?
I did give a valiant effort to play Civ 4 on Switch, and actually the joystick controls are actually not bad because once you learn them, you can do it a lot of routine things really, really fast. The thing that kills it is not having a big high resolution screen.
Yeah.
Like that is the ultimate sin, I think, from handheld 4X.
Yeah, it's the screen.
I haven't decided how I'm going to spend my afternoon. Right now, it's a coin toss between building my Lego Slave 1 and Grand Theft Auto 5, which I've never played.
Slave 1's a hell of a set, man.
It looks
it's
good.
like it makes Tantive 4 look like Death Star 2.
Whoa.
It's next level, man. So, all right, well, let's see. Disney released Frozen 2 and Star Wars both early.
Rise of the Skywalker early, not Mandalorian 2.
No, not the true thing that they should do for America and the world. So yeah, I rewatched Star Wars, and I am ashamed to admit that I actually had to watch it in 4 separate parts because like I had to like take breaks and not give it the fraction of my attention that it deserves.
But why?
Well, okay, I will say this is my 3rd watch of the movie, and a couple of my problems were fixed. Adam Driver in the last act is fantastic, and a lot of problems. So many problems.
Wait, which Star Wars movie are we even talking about at this point?
The last one.
Skywalker.
Return of the Jedi.
Yep. Empire.
Well, if you can think of a Star Wars movie that has problems, that's the one that we're talking about.
Oh, all right, great. That is really narrowing this down for me.
Yep. The whole box office is hosed. They had like the biggest loss ever, or the biggest. The Onward had the biggest drop ever for like a Pixar movie. I mean, everything is just crazy.
So I don't know. Like this is again local news and pertinent to Holland and Dexter, but Goodrich Theaters, which was a local theater chain, had been in bankruptcy receivership before the outbreak.
Yeah.
So like. Because they had.
So you're saying they've come out of their bankruptcy just fine?
Yeah, just super healthy. Like all they really needed to do is clean up their balance sheet.
Yep.
Really, what they needed to do was just wait another couple months and then declare bankruptcy after this.
Right.
Yeah.
Bring in some
Bailed
insurance
out.
money or get some government benefits of whatever they're going to do to make sure all the servers in Michigan don't starve in the next month.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I mean, I think that Onward's message of lick your partner's eyeball probably was the wrong one for a virus.
I haven't seen it yet because of the thing.
Really, if U.S. businesses would just stop doing spit handshakes for all their deal making.
Right.
Put her there.
The big thing with the Goodrich Theaters for Kathleen and I is that we realized like 3 or 4 weeks ago, like I've been on their loyalty app or whatever forever, and I hadn't spent a single point because I didn't really know how to spend the points. I never really figured that out, and it turns out that I have like hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of Goodrich Theater store credit.
Yeah,
that's like 4 large popcorns.
Yep.
Yep. Well, let's put it this way. It's only half of getting my cat back from the vet.
$8.
You're never getting that value for your gift card, and you're probably not going to get your cat back. But
it's true.
Well, he's got the cat back. It's just whether the cat's actually going to stay there or not.
The cat's going to be fine. The only reason that they kept her as long as they did is that their kidney measuring machine was broken.
That sucks.
Right? They kept her for 2 nights longer than they needed to because they said her kidneys was failing, but it turns out the failure was their kidney checking machine. So hopefully they're going to cut us a deal on that.
I wonder how they figured it out. Maybe after the 20th cat and kidney failure showed up at the office. They're like, wait a minute.
There's a lot of dead kidneys in this area.
I hate to cast shade on your equipment, but we've been really raking it in with cats needing dialysis.
It's 40% of our income this quarter.
Until COVID, we were having such a good year. I bet you they had literally like dozens of conversations about, well, I think your cat might have eaten some poison that someone left out. Instead of just checking and tapping the LED on the side of the machine.
Yeah.
The Invisible Man, which is still technically in theaters, they released that to streaming like immediately. And I kind of assume that a few of the other theaters are going to do the same thing. But like Fast and the Furious, they delayed it for a year.
Yeah, I bet that it'll be the things like Fast and Furious and all of the big cinematic ones that'll end up getting delayed. But everything else, like if you're a comedy or whatever, go ahead and charge entrance fee. Yeah.
Charge
Stream
$10.
that crap.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got to tell you, man, I'd have no problem, spending whatever I was going to spend on movie theater tickets to stream a comedy right now. I could use a comedy or two.
Are you saying that we're not providing sufficient comedic value in your life? Are you?
I'm saying, Jeff, that you're no Seth Rogen.
I mean, if I had better material to work with than just you guys, maybe I could put something together.
That's fair.
I think if you could just make sure to get Rosebum and I, like, say, 50 pounds of the highest grade marijuana, we could build a Seth Rogen for you to be with.
Seth Bot.
Well, we'd make him out of like Darby hair and all of that as well. Well, not. But we can make him out of hair, and then we can put them all together, and you can just bring them along with you. I think it'd be like a security blanket during this.
I mean, I have to tell you, Rob is only like a little bigger than Seth Rogen was in the height of his, popularity. So it's literally just a bunch of high quality pot, and maybe a James Franco. You could be his James Franco, Bates.
And his, as far as hair goes, Rob, I think your quarantine beard is going to be
it's going to be magnificent.
Yeah. Like I think you can several Seth Rogens just out of that once we go out of lockdown.
I'm gonna
I might have Seth Rogen in here.
At the very least, we could do like a Super Troopers 3. I'm just saying, just we could change our backgrounds to be like I don't know, Super Troopers in training, and it's just a training montage. We could do this. We could make money. I'm just saying.
We could do this. I think. All right. So Rob is Seth Rogen, and I'm James Franco now.
I think Nate has to go with James Franco. He's tall.
All right, that's fine.
Well, but someone can be the other Franco, because there's like Dave Franco.
Oh,
and like Marvin Franco. I don't know. I'm just making people up now. But
Dave Franco is married to Allison Brie, so I'm jealous of him.
I'm betting Nate doesn't want to cut off his own arm. And, that's going to be a pretty important part of being James Franco.
That was a special effect.
Arm cutting.
What is with James Franco and arm cutting? I missed something here.
Oh, he starred in the biopic movie about that dude who was out hiking, got trapped, and had to cut his own arm off to escape.
It was 127 hours.
Missed that one.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he got in trouble for he was texting or sexting with some teenage girl. And
that I'm familiar with, and no, not cool with that either.
Sorry, dude, you got chosen.
Sorry,
Franco.
Yeah.
Who was that other guy?
That's always Seth Rogen.
You can't fight your nature, Nate. This is just what it is.
This is how it is. I will say, I do, if for no other reason, hope that we get some movies back in the theater, because it kind of terrifies me that we would end up ending 2020 with Bad Boys for Life being the number one
grossing movie.
I hadn't thought of that. That's a good point.
Well, I mean, what other top end box office movies? It'd be Bad Boys for Life. What else?
I mean,
Onward's opening weekend.
Onward would have made Mad Bank. Well, the Fast and the Furious would have been $1 billion global.
No Time to Die would have been $500 million to $1 billion.
It would have been $1 billion global. They make Mad Bank overseas. But I mean, in a couple of weeks, we've got some Marvel movies. Although I will say,
which actually released though? That's my question.
Have come out already.
Well, okay, the list right now of what's in theaters, there's not a lot of action. I would actually say Sonic is the closest thing to a real action movie besides Bad Boys for Life, because most of what's out is kids movies right now. So we're in the doldrums, right? The even on a normal year, the February March range is like the leftover movies that they gave up on and didn't have the marketing budget for, and then like one tentpole action comedy like a Birds of Prey kind of thing. And that's what you usually get, and then you hope that you get a Deadpool in there somewhere, like a surprise R-rated moneymaker. That's kind of what's happened the last few years.
I've always thought of you as my surprise moneymaker, Rob.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, gentlemen, we are at the 30-minute mark, so we can say our farewells.
Elbow
Farewell.
bump.
Elbow bump. I'll start with Chris DeBona this time because he claims I skipped him last time.
That's because you did.
I heard you not say his name.
All right. Well, we'll let I ain't watching the stream, so we'll let our readers post a comment and say if I actually mentioned you or not. This has been.
If you guys don't want me involved, that's okay. I got plenty of ego. I'm good.
Chris.
We love everybody. We're all friends. All right. Well, I'll say goodbye to Chris DeBona again.
Give it twice.
Nate Ostendorf.
See you later.
We got Jeff Bates.
Goodbye.
Rob Roseboom.
Goodbye from the yellow room.
Rob Pride. All right, we're putting up the goodbye slide. This has been episode 424 of Geeks in Space. I am Rob Commander Taco Maldo, reminding you to wash your hands, practice social distancing, but you're probably a nerd if you're listening here, which means there's a pretty reasonable chance that you've been practicing social distancing on your own already. Take care, stay safe, hang out with us in Discord, smash the like button, subscribe to our Patreon, and we'll talk to you some other time.
Oh, are you done yet?
I love you, friends.